Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to make a video on a 1999 new weapon, Reconifex. So Reconifex is Cyto 9's specific rifle, and its whole gimmick is you have a timed reload mechanic, and when you successfully perform the timed reload, you gain heat damage for your entire magazine that does not combine with any other elements. So I have two builds for you today. I have a main build that I've been using, and then one here that's kind of like more for if you're playing Gauss or Harrow or someone who can really buff up the fire rate, because this one shoots a lot slower comparatively to my normal build. For our main build, we have High Voltage for Electric and Status Chance, Malignant Force for Toxin, Rhyme Rounds for Cold, Speed Trigger for Fire Rate, Vital Sense for crit damage, Galvanized Aptitude which gives us status chance, and then on kill we gain increase to our direct damage per status type affecting the target, which stacks up to 2 times. Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, and then on kill it'll stack up 5 times. And then Galvanized Scope. When aiming for 12 seconds, you gain 76% crit chance, and then on headshot kill, you gain crit chance that will stack up. And then we have Primary Deadhead for more damage. If you don't like Deadhead, you could swap on Merciless, but with this build specifically, I like running Deadhead. And with this setup, we have Corrosive and Cold, and also Heat if you perform the perfect reload. And then for our second build, we have Vital Sense for crit damage, High Voltage for electricity, Infected Clip for toxin, Galvanized Aptitude same as before, Serration for flat damage, Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot that'll stack up, Point Strike for crit chance, and then this last slot I would add in a Bane, but I don't have any Forma that I have slotted in yet. And then we have Primary Merciless, which same thing as before, if you don't like Merciless, you could swap on Deadhead, or any other arcane that you're really feeling up to. And with this setup, we just have Corrosive and then the heat damage from the reload. So this is the build that I'm going to jump into the Simulacrum with first, and I will show these out so that you can see them. Alrighty, now we are here in the Simulacrum, and we have our first build, which I will throw on screen now. So with this build, since we do have galvanized mods, it does take a second to ramp up initially. But even with needing to ramp up a little, you can see we're still killing pretty quickly, but nothing too insane. And then here is our reload mechanic. So now we have the heat damage on our magazine, which will buff our damage up even more because it's just an increased element with galvanized aptitude, so we just get more damage. But now that we have our first kill, you can see here we have ramped up quite a bit, and then the longer we aim, the more crit chance we get, because this build is more of a headshot focused build. So you can see the first one takes a little slow to get going, but let's hit our perfect reload. Once you get your first kill, you can see we kill super duper fast comparatively. And then if you throw this on someone like Gauss, you will absolutely tear up. Same thing with Harrow or any weapons platform, really. And this has been my main weapon since I got it from 1999. But let me respawn these guys real quick. Since we are playing Nyx with this, I have Assimilate as her 4th augment. So we get the weapon damage buff from having her 4 active. And then we can do the Chaos Bolts for armor shredding, and you can see here, if they don't have armor, you absolutely annihilate them. The only thing with this build specifically is if you don't hit headshots, it does take a little bit longer compared to if you do hit the headshots. But even without hitting them, it's not like the end of the world slow. That was our first build. Now let me jump back in here to the arsenal, and I can show you out the second one. Alrighty, now we have our second build, which I will put on screen now. So this one, I would recommend using more on someone like Harrow Gauss, someone who can buff your fire rate. Because this one, you can see already, it shoots a ton slower, but we have a little bit higher base damage without ramping up our galvanized mods, which is kind of nice. But it still takes quite a while to get your initial proc, which these guys have a ton of EHP, so, you know. And then now that we have some of our mods procced, you can see it kills a little bit quicker, but nothing like too crazy. And now we have them ramped up even more, and we're killing a little bit faster now. But this is one that I would recommend on someone like Gauss or Harrow, which, let me jump onto Harrow or Gauss real quick so I can show with their speed buffs. Alright, now we are here on Gauss. Let me go ahead and activate our red line, and then run around to get our over the red line. There we go. And then you can see here, aside from the recoil, having the increased damage, now we have our galvanized, and I missed the reload. There we go. So now we have our galvanized mods stacked up. This is still our second build. for Reconifex. So it kills pretty quickly. Same thing as before, just a little quicker, and it turns your reload mechanic into more of a skill check rather than a perfect timed reload. And then let's check out our first build on Gauss. So let's go ahead and activate our red line again, and I will get this built up real fast. Alright, now we have this built up. And this one has a lot less reload, or recoil, compared to the other one. But same thing as before, it takes a second to ramp because you have to get your galvanized mods activated and going. But there we go. Now we should have those galvanized mods, and you can see here we're killing a ton faster compared to prior. But this is our more headshot focused setup. So this one, if you're aiming for heads, you're just going to annihilate everything that you look at. This gun, since 1999 has come out and I've got my hands on this thing, has been my favorite weapon that I've played with in a while. Because mostly I just use Burst on Prime with the Incarnon, but this is super nice to not have to worry about an Incarnon form or anything like that. But those are our two builds for Reconifex. I will jump into a Steel Path mission so that I can show you this thing in an actual mission, and I will see you there. Alright, now we are here in Steel Path on Deimos, and we have our Galvanized ramped up already. Thanks to those little dog creatures jumping at us. Go to the lumbering fragments. There we go. And right now I don't have Nyx's bubble on to buff my damage yet. But let's hit our reload. Get a little mercy kill here. Hopefully we get a little more energy. There we go. And then let's go ahead and throw our 3 out so they stop looking at me, because why not? Steal the overguard off this guy. There we go. Get rid of this guy. Also, with Reconifex and its perfect reload, if you go to reload and then you cancel it, you can restart, but if you miss it and then swap off and come back, it doesn't give you the option anymore because you've missed the reload timer. So I would recommend not missing it if you can, but it's pretty generous. Like you can see here, it's got a pretty big window for you to be able to hit it. So the only way I see you genuinely missing the reload time is if you're just not paying attention at all to the game, or you're like super overwhelmed with stuff going on or whatever, because it can be kind of hard to see on certain tile sets, I'd imagine. And then we'll throw on Nyx's bubble here to give us a little bit more damage. There we go. We'll get rid of this guy. Also, if you start a mercy like I just did, even though I had the reload timer, it stopped my reload, so you are still able to get the perfect reload, even though you technically, quote-unquote, missed it, because you canceled it with another action, rather than just swapping off to another weapon. So that's one way to kind of get around the perfect reload cancel. But this weapon's great. I've been really enjoying it, playing through 1999 and everything like that. And you just have tons and tons of ammo, so you don't have to worry about reloading or anything. You can just keep shooting. But yeah, this weapon's pretty straightforward because it's more of a, like, it's more of a realistic type of weapon, so there's no like space gimmicks going on. You just have your perfect reload, which gives you your heat damage, and then you have that's 200 bullets in your magazine. That's pretty much it. This weapon's been really solid overall. I've been using it since 1999 started, pretty much, when I was able to get my hands on it, with hitting rank 4 with the Hex. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of this weapon, because I've been really enjoying it. And with that all being said, I will see you guys in the next video.